Find a work that you are intrigued by?
I would say that the education at the Blanton is beyond compare. I said it because I'm an educational researcher, so I take education pretty seriously, and they really take a lot of time in thinking about the purpose of my course. They think about how to engage students.
I am always thrilled to work with the education team at the Blanton. They're incredibly helpful, and I will give them full credit for designing a lot of the work that we do with my class at the Blanton.
They know just the right amount of suggestion and prodding to give, and then create a safe space for the students to ask questions or share their experience.
I have always heard students say, they're really good at what they do, and it's true, because I think giving people a chance to access the experience of a museum without making it intimidating is a very, very careful skill.
When I became director in 2011, one of the very first goals I set out to do was make sure we had the best teaching program that a university art museum could have. I was wanting to see students, whether they were math majors or history majors, doctors, artists in the community. I wanted to see a place for them at the Blanton. And so I looked at other great university museums, talked to directors across the country, looked at their programs, and was really kind of honing in on what is that program that will help us serve this university and the disciplines across campus. I wanted to see every student come through the Blanton at some point in their academic life. One of my first priorities was hiring a team that could build that and envision that. And I really wanted to think about how we can support teaching on this campus as an art museum.
The most common thing I hear is, I never thought that going to the Blanton would be something that would actually help me do my work in a molecular biology lab. And I love that they're being able to see that connection. The goal of developmental and cell biology is for students to be able to do authentic research on a scientific question that pertains to something that's happening at a subcellular level. One of the things we find when we're asking students to interpret data, whether their own or in a paper, is they want to know what the answer is. Students want to know what the right answer is. And what's so nice about taking to the Blanton and asking them to do an interpretation exercise is there is no right answer. And they struggle with that at first, but it allows them to see the freedom that comes from that and the creativity and the richness of bringing new ways of seeing things to that piece. And then when we bring that back to the lab, we can also invite them to have that same feeling around looking at data with the same amount of open-mindedness.
The experience that we have at the Blanton Museum is really important in helping our learners understand the human experience and therefore relate to patients better. They learn about perspective, so they might look at the same work of art and have very different impressions of that, and that really highlights how people experience same things differently. So a patient who has lupus is going to have a different experience than another patient who might have the same disease. And so it is very important and contributes a lot to their understanding and hopefully the care that they bring to the patients that they're going to see in the clinic and in the hospital.
One of the most important things at UT is, in our department, is our graduate student. We have one of the largest graduate student populations in the country. Our graduate students get a chance to do their sort of apprenticeships here at the Blanton by teaching students in front of the objects. There's no hiding behind a slide projector here. You are actually with the students in front of the work of art. And I think it provides really remarkable opportunities for our graduate students to be instructors.
I think a lot of this goes back to kind of a core philosophy for how we teach our students at UT. The goal of coming to UT is not just to learn rote facts and materials. The goal is to create a fundamental shift in how our students think, how they feel, and how they develop their own philosophy for how they lead. In order to create those types of experiences, I have to reach them in powerful avenues that shift their thinking. And so for me, taking them out of the conventional classroom and into these halls allows the space to reach them in a wonderfully collaborative and just brilliant way.
This didn't happen by accident. This happened strategically. We've built a program after 10 years that I'm incredibly proud of. And I want people to know that this program is supporting the great leaders of the future in every curriculum. And I want alumni to know that their university has a world-class teaching museum, a museum they can proudly come back to and know it is impacting the students' lives today in ways that had been a dream before, and it is being realized today.